session of Finding Gratitude with Alicia Ali and yours truly, The Block. I should go by David Terrell for this. I feel like it's more official. But y'all know me by both monikers if you know me at all. And if you don't know me by either, then welcome to my universe. Our universe.
Yes, because we are creating. We are
Yes,
co-creating the universe and the
yes,
present and the future and the future to the present, which is
yes,
amazing.
yes. Back to the Future has new meaning after that.
Absolutely, it's all about Marty. So
Mm-hmm.
you wanted me to open up with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's quote, so I'll do
Yes,
that. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These persons have had an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep, loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. That's Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Yeah.
yeah.
So may you heal past hurts and embrace new chances. That's the affirmation for today.
You have a bad habit of striking chords, Miss Lady.
I know.
You,
I know.
you.
It happens.
I hate it here. Like that could yeah, that quote is stellar. It's very stellar. I appreciate that given the circumstances and endeavors that I've experienced in recent history. Um, that's definitely an enlightening passage to hear, to take in, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally understand that because when we're going through it, the darkness or we're going through difficult times, it feels like never ending. And
Mm,
we never realize like how it's really changing the inside of us because that's all that really matters. Our self dialogue, our desires, our choices. And so when people influence that and we lose our inner voice and we lose our strength internally, that it does cut us off from our strength, our internal strength.
and I believe now this is my philosophy. I don't know if I've heard
Yeah.
somewhere and just adapted it, but the best way to improve your strengths is to work on your weaknesses. So if
Yeah.
I could,
Yeah, but
if I
also those weaknesses can take a lot of energy from you. So move on the
yes,
momentum of your positivity, which is why we do the gratitude practice to build the momentum up so those weaknesses are not so hard to overcome.
yes, indeed. And over time, like the more effort you put into it, the better the results will be. So I'm not sitting here
Mhm.
acting like I don't have faults and like I'm online now 4 times a week again. Um, but I'm trying to say that I use my shortcomings, if you will,
Mm.
to fuel my drive and my passion. It's like, okay, I'm not the greatest graphic designer. I know how to design graphics, but I'm no Pixar animator. You know what I mean? So that kind of is one of the things that are essential part of my career, but
Mm.
not entirely my skill set. So I have to now look for people for certain projects and convince them that their effort and their energy is worthwhile to a course that they might not already be aware of. It's a challenge.
You definitely can empower and uplift somebody and
Hmm.
encourage them. And it will take time for
Hmm.
them to see their own power. I know for even myself, you've done that over and over for me, um, which I appreciate because you can't be yourself without others. You can't create what you want without others. It it does have this. You have your power in yourself, and then you have a power in many. But that many, they really need to be focused on what the goal is, and riding that those choices and those desires out together in that direction, because it does slow you down when you're questioned all the time. It does slow you down when you're insulted all the time.
Ooh,
And so you really have to choose your company wisely.
so true, so true. And I mean, like even in touching base on that, like okay, for example, I own my business. I own two
Mhm.
businesses, and like if I say certain things as a business owner, people are more accepting than if I were to say those same things as a regular everyday citizen. It's like, you know what I mean? Like when I'm like, oh, like for my receipts, I'm like, yeah, that's a business expense. You know,
Mhm.
people look at me like
Mhm.
I'm trying to act like I'm better than them. It's like, no, it's literally a business expense. I have to tell myself that, or I won't log it properly. And hello,
Mhm.
like I have purchases for two businesses, so I have to balance that out on top of dealing with your opinion. Nah, get out of here. Get out of here. I know I'm doing good. I know that people appreciate me, so I'm grateful for the good I can do. And
And don't worry about the inferiority complex of others. Don't
I
worry about
keep I keep forgetting that. Like it's an inferiority complex. Like, and it doesn't help that I'm the size and stature of most professional athletes.
Yeah, but I'm sure people fear giants, right? I'm sure they do, but the gentle giant is very noteworthy. They make a lot of things happen with their sensitivity and their strength and their courage. They
Mm.
come in handy.
I like to believe so. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like it was funny because like early in my political career, I say political career because I've been on the phone with the office of the premier for like 13 years. So if that's not a career, I don't know what the fuck is. Part of my language for those of you with sensitive hearing and training. Um, but I don't know what a career is if it doesn't 13 years of being on the phone with one political office every single week. But I remember saying something to them and the response was so remarkable.
Hmm.
And it was just like, okay, I have to take this course now because,
Hmm.
you know, I have direction and it is what it is. So now I'm just at the point where it's like, can I make that change? Yes, I'm going to make that change. Go ahead. There's a few things harder to change than government. I'll tell you this for a fact.
Yes, the red tape is strong,
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's madness, madness. So,
but we're
um,
grateful for it.
yes, of course, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I was talking to Private Name, Private Number the other day. Check out Terminal 3 on all streaming platforms, as well as My Private World on all streaming platforms. But I was talking to him the other day, and he said people don't like peace. They like
Hmm.
chaos. Peace is boring. There's nothing to do. But you add some chaos, everybody's excited. And he wasn't wrong.
Well, there definitely is a yin and a yang, right? Because you need
Hmm.
to know what the chaos is and feel that conflict and then feel the resolution. It it is the experience of feeling both of those contrasts that life is all about. Just the experience, the observation, and then feeling compassion for the observer is very fundamental to the experience.
Yes, yes.
Um,
And
yeah, self-compassion is becoming not just you know, a therapy practice. You know, it really is the everyday practice of being kind to yourself, saying kind things to yourself. The gratitude and the appreciation practice really does help with self compassion.
mm, okay,
Hmm.
okay. Now, what kinds of things can one do to practice gratitude or finding gratitude? Like, what? Uh,
Hmm.
I'm not 100% sure we touched base on this in the first episode, but what is gratitude?
It's a frequency. It's an energy frequency that moves through your body, just like any other emotion. What happens is it stabilizes the soul. It's the first step to stabilizing the soul. And what I mean by that is when we have conflict and we need clarity and harmony, our body is the first um, is the first like it picks up on a frequency like a radio station. Our bodies just like have senses, right? We see it, we hear it, we feel it, taste it. Like that's what our senses are about when we navigate through the life, through the world, the reality. And so when we tune ourselves to a frequency, which is appreciation, it helps harmonize the soul and stabilize it. So it's like a grounding practice. It like puts you in the time and the space of feeling without being wavering to negativity.
No, I realized that I practice this more often than I was conscious.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm sitting. I'm sorry. I gotta check something right quick. It's been driving me nuts.
Okay. Just walk out of your podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just I don't know if it's like ADD or what. I just sitting here like, okay, I know I did the laundry, but did I? But did I do the laundry? Shoot.
Because it couldn't wait another 5 minutes.
It could not wait another 5 minutes because that 5 minutes is the difference between me having clothes and me not having
Oh,
clothes. But I have that time now. 'Cause it would have just like I don't think like that's the thing. It's like life has a way of nagging at you. It's just like,
mm.
hey, hey, hey.
Can it be more gentle? Can it be, it's not so abrupt and startling? Can
Well,
it be like,
that was the
hey,
first.
hey, did you
Yeah,
do the thing? Did you just do that thing?
that's what he's been doing for the last 10 minutes. So I just like, did I do the thing? Was the thing done? I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't know.
I don't, I don't know. Anyway, oh man. So yes, okay. So the frequency, the perception of a frequency.
Well, actually, the manifestation is the perception, right? So
Okay.
when you're picking, okay, so you're a radio station, you're picking up on frequencies.
Yes.
That is what the frequency is actually what you're attracting, right? So when you align with that, it's that thought, that vibration is the manifestation first off the jump. So when you
Okay.
think that thought, now you have a feeling that resonates with that thought. You're like, okay, I'm picking up on the frequency of I'm seeing something that I'm not liking. This is this is a thought of negativity. I am not happy with what I'm experiencing, and I'm feeling turmoil. I'm feeling conflict. I'm feeling upset. So when we disengage from the experience and we step away and we step back and we take time to calibrate back to our harmony, when we take calibration from our breath work helps. Also, just time and space of journaling and working out that. And I really do encourage art and creativity because it's a very constructive way of being in your cocoon, of being in a safe, protective space that you can align with yourself before you engage again, before you
Mm,
go back and conquer, if you will, the conflict with
okay.
a different attitude. Yeah.
So there is a time of withdrawal necessary
You
for periods
have
of
to.
time.
There absolutely has to be a time of withdrawal. If it's a constant stress on your body, if it's constant, if it's continuous, you're going to have a dis-ease, which is a disease. It's going to happen. It cannot happen any other way. You're changing your physical formation of your body. You're changing like the thoughts, the emotional process is so destructive that it really does hurt everything that you've created.
Mm, okay.
It
Okay.
has you have to disengage, or else
That's,
you really will implode. You really will.
I think that's one of my biggest issues, the disengagement. It's like I feel like I gotta keep going. It's like I was just told recently that you know what, sometimes silence is the best solution. And I've never been I'm not often in situations where silence is the best solution. It's always like there's always like something that has to be said. I don't do well with awkward quiet. I'm just like I'm not
I think it's quiet within yourself, right? So this is where Martin Luther King was so important. This is why the monks in the Himalayas, when they were protesting peacefully, it is so fundamental to not push against the negative impact or the negative outcome that you're trying to resist, because the more resistance is the more persistence. Do the opposite. It's going to be hard at first, right? To not engage, to not think the thoughts, to change the frequency, to change the energy in you. It will take time. But once you're able to nip it in the bud, no, 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 I'm not going there. No, 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 I'm disengaging. No, 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 I choose differently. Then
Mm,
you have that power to really say to yourself, I am creating the life that I want. I'm creating the situation that I want instead of resisting against the one that you don't.
choices,
It's
choices.
all about choices and desires. You
Yep.
are so worthy of happiness that we fight for it. We have to fight for our worthiness to accept our happiness.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, every musician downloads this information. We hear it all the time. We see it in movies. And yet for our own self, it's so hard to believe it.
Yep. It's one of those conundrums because, like, as a creative,
Mm.
you're always, uh, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, looking for the adulation or the recognition of your peers. And
Mm.
when you don't get that, you like a sense of self-loathing tends to
Yes.
develop over
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, and like that's part of the reason why we're doing this, so people understand how to appreciate themselves and
Yes.
how to understand their capacities and their abilities and what they're capable of and what they're worthy of, because it's not just music. And a lot of the times people pigeonhole me and say, like,
Mhm.
oh, like, and they say it with good regards, like, oh, you need to step out and do and interview more people other than musicians. It's like, bro, I've been interviewing people other than musicians, and if you don't see that, you're not watching. And it's been about 500 episodes. So
Yes, thank you for being open to accepting also, ones like myself who are more introverted. And I have my power in a different way, in a different capacity, and it does take recognition from people who want to explore different avenues. And I do see that we have so much in common. And I am very proud of what you've done, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Um
yeah.
in the small way that I am. Yeah.
Oh no,
And
this is an important part of how the week goes and
mm,
how things progress, because when you start your day or your morning or what have you, when you start with a positive footing, you can
mm,
build more effectively. And that's why I wanted to start this podcast, because even from well back when I first saw you starting doing
yes.
your videos, I was like, yeah, I want something like that on my channel.
Oh, thank you.
You're
I think
welcome.
I think we could just wrap it up with a frequency tuning, which is a meditation. Just a quick looking internally, clearing the mind, taking some deep breaths in and out, releasing through the mouth. We are one. There is no separation. We're always together. We're experiencing life as observers. And we want to play in the clay that is our life. Thank you.
All right. This has been Finding Gratitude with Alicia Ali and David Terrell. Have yourself a day and make sure you're well.
Stay well. Bye.